The poem I started for this from Margie and her work here. I call it just simply the land. It annoys my mom. She wanted us to name it something, and Margie came up with Golden Glen, but I can never think to call it that. It just, to me, it's the land. My son found this land for sale on Craigslist, 57 acres. He texted me the link with an aerial view showing jagged boundaries. An island cut off from all public access and only tethered to civilization by the goodwill of neighbors. This view from above reveals little of the character of this land and none of its mysteries. There are green spaces, open fields, crooked streams, snake line at the west end of the land, and a band of green running east and west, dividing the field into north and south. A mysterious green dagger plunges through the middle of the south field, dividing it into east and west sections. Looking at this aerial map, everything is only suggestion. No images of spring-fed streams or the hint of old logging roads disappearing into oak, hickory, ash, and sycamore are dropping into green gold meadows. I turn the map clockwise to get my bearing, but in truth, I am stalling, trying to formulate a reply to my son. My son, who believes in this land, sight unseen, has the conviction of youth or faith, perhaps they are the same. I have the conviction of an old man who has been disappointed too many times, now suspicious of optimism. Still, something inside my inner landscape is stirred. My son's next text, short, pointed, vibrates with eagerness. What do you think? Let's check it out. It is a question leading to an invitation from a son to his father. What father can resist? For in my heart of hearts, land or no land, a possibility presents itself. Yes, I reply. Part 2. On this day, we drive 1 hour and 19 minutes into Cherokee County. Once we leave the interstate and bypass Wagner, the winding two-lane bordered on both sides by fallow fields of brown earth, stands of wood, shallow ponds, gives way to a patchwork of lowland waterways, threading their way through islands of trees as we approach Fort Gibson Lake. Passing over to the other side of the lake, we come to fields of bright honey-colored hay in the afternoon sun. Shaded glens nudge the shoulders of the road. Our car crosses over one creek, then another, clear water, 14-mile double stream. Glimpses of rippled and sunlit water reflect blue skies, broken only by dark tree shadows. Google brings us to a faded sign reading New Hope Indian Baptist Church. A gravel driveway leads to a white clapboard chapel with a bell tower and steeple standing guard over this property. A good home. 2 roads lead from New Hope, one crooked, one straight. The crooked slants uphill. Limbs of honey locust, wild roses, greenbriers, and blackberries scrape at the road, even impending passage at some point, until we have to walk the last 100 yards to reach the top, where it levels out and ends at the neighbor's fence line. We smile. The biblical imagery is not lost on us. The lower road is straight and more navigable. Tall oak forest trees reach across the road. We ease our way on this quiet track. So quiet that it requires we turn off our engine and walk. Walking, we come to a crowfoot in the road. To the south, we see the hint of a surrendered logging road. To the north, a hayfield. west is straight into deep green shadow. We opt for the field. Stepping over a moss-covered lawn, we ease down a damp curved path through the woods. Already, we can see flecks of bright gold teasing through the turning fall leaves. Walking further down the road, flecks give way to flashes. And rounding a bend, woods give way to meadow as the setting sun casts slanted light, igniting the field. In this light, and with slight breeze, grasslands dance like flickering flames. My wife, the artist, sees a field awash with burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and a touch of alizarin crimson. We say nothing. It's, I think, also, and again, it's an intersection of how sometimes just changing where we are, our place, doing something different can change our inner world as well. It's called We Walk. My lover and I are on retreat, a cabin in the woods. Leaving behind cell phones and computers, we walk. The path is wide, clearly marked, no getting lost. We feel at ease on this unfamiliar path, whereas back home in the city, familiarity seeds boredom, and yes, sometimes resignation. Trodden paths turn to ruts, roots are exposed like fingers pointing. We are lost. For now, though, in tandem, we walk, me in front, and then pausing to observe a mushroom or catch my breath. She will take the lead. Out here, cooperation, not competition, rules the day. I offer a hand crossing a creek and stopping to rest. She offers me water and a smile. Still, we are cautious, but curious. New trails are like that. Only a hint of what lies ahead. We walk. It is mid-September and already the sun sits lower in the sky. Slant light is warm, almost hot, as the trail steers us into one of the many grassy clearings. On this high plain, we walk among blue stems, cacti, and crimson-crowned sumac. The path gives way and dips into deep shadows. I stop before wading into pine, oak, juniper. She steps beside me. Her arm brushes mine. Standing there, she whispers, "Can you feel it? It's like leaving summer and walking into fall." True, the heat gives way abruptly. Cool, moist air rushes up the descending path. Stepping under the canopy, there is a hushed silence. Instinctively, I reach for her hand. We walk. This one, that one was about how where you are can alter your perception and even your inner world sometimes. And this one is about how something can shift inside you, how it's circular almost, and how something can shift inside you and then change the way you previously saw the world. It's called Spray of Cardinals. Looking out my window to the backyard, cup of coffee in hand, winter apple tree for an instant seems ripe with fruit. It is a desire for the return of spring that brings on this illusion. Closer examination reveals cardinals scattered among the branches. Their crimson silhouettes stand most brilliant against the bleak, washed sky. For months I have looked out on the scene. Gray sky, gray fence, gray branches. Rooftops of neighboring houses are degrees of gray. My eyes, now weary of gray, are delighted by this late winter offering. I become aware that I am cupping my coffee in both hands, as though receiving Eucharist. Then, in a flash of red, the tree ignites in winged flight. Startled, I blink, and everything is the same again, only different. And this one is a poem that I started a long time ago, and it was about a hike I took, and I came up on a pond that had dried up, and there were a lot of bones around that area. Fish bones, animal bones, and I could never figure out what to do with this poem. And then when I was 58, I had a heart attack, and I was working on this, and then I went back and I was publishing some poems. Yeah, I had a publisher thing, and he wanted another poem, and I went back to this one, and I just still didn't like it. But it came to me that all of a sudden I saw it differently. And so I was able to finish the poem. And it's called Long Pond. Walking the woods today, I stumble onto a repository of bones in a dry pond bed, proof of teeming life only months earlier. Summer drought created this graveyard. A multitude of animal tracks crisscross like some primitive game of tic-tac-toe between amphibians, reptiles, and mammals, wherein the winner manages to survive a little longer. Letting go all other instincts in their quest for water, they put away hunger. The desire to reproduce becomes a whisper. Walking the perimeter of this dry, shallow pond, the ground is cracked and uneven, forming thousands of jigsaw puzzle pieces, stepping stones in a sacred labyrinth. I walk in ever-tightening concentric circles, contemplating the primal urge to live in the shortness of life. I place my palm to my chest and feel the steady beat. Only months earlier, my own drought, river of blood stopped flowing, yet the doctor said my heart beat for 19 minutes. It beat, he said. In remembering back to that moment, past and future do not exist. Time is measured in breaths. Only after survival does meaning assert itself. People say, bet that was a wake-up call. From what, I wonder? Have I not been awake? Others assert, you will be more grateful from now on. Always implied is that I wasn't grateful enough, as though more gratitude would have prevented what happened. Bending to pick up a perfectly formed skull, a coyote, or maybe a fox, I hold it in my palm and stare into hollowed-out spaces that once were eyes. It becomes clear to me that among all these scattered bones, there lies no truth, no great meaning. Looking around, I see no patterns, just random piles of bones lying here and there like a game of pick-up sticks. When faced with survival, there's nothing that is sacred, not life, not death. Still holding this skull, I can imagine his dull eyes, his ragged breath, his thirsty, swollen tongue, lapping the ground, the air, for a drop of moisture. There is no tomorrow, no yesterday. There's only this. Startled by this thought, I realize I have been holding my breath. Breathing deeply, I feel my lungs expand, my t-shirt drawn tight across my chest. I smell the hint of rain. visit Provence, France, several years ago, and this was we actually stayed in a convent in Provence, and it was called Notre Dame de Fidelity in France. And we had a friend of ours, his daughter is actually a nun at the convent. So I recommend, as we're touring around the world, staying in convents and monasteries. They're beautiful places, they're comfortable, they treat you well, and you get 3 meals a day, they're good meals, and it's inexpensive. But they included us, that we happened to be there when they do their blessing of the fields. And so the name of this poem is Blessing of the Fields. Already a week has passed at the Abbey, and I, a stranger taken in by good Samaritans, have watched as nuns skid about in pairs or small groupings, and sometimes alone. Always they seem to be forward-leaning, as though their eyes see further than the horizon, something hidden from the rest of us. With great intention, they go about their earthly tasks, cooking, cleaning, plowing, seeding, no separation between heaven and earth. Praying, chanting, serving, singing, God is in the mundane and the holy. Nuns gather outside the abbey by the fence road like a murder of crows. They are sister crows, black gowns ruffling in the breeze. Folded head to toe in black, there could be the suggestion of something sinister afoot. But not so with these sister crows. For as I watch them bow and exchange joyful glances in anticipation of the blessing of the fields, I admire them. So clearly of one mind and heart, united in this one good thing. After all, what could be more important to crows than the blessing of the fields? I am rarely of one mind, two minds at odds on a good day. The nuns shuffle about unencumbered, as though their robes were flesh. Far more comfortable are they in their skin than I in mine. They file out one by one, beads on a rosary. Today, I am both observer and participant. I am invited to enter in. These spirit guides lead the way. I follow behind as they walk the circumference of the field, chanting in a tongue foreign to me. Their voices take flight upward, and I am with them, circling the fields. I too see beyond the horizon. The earth in all its abundance spreads before me, and the sky, oh, the sky, endless, world without end. No longer observer only. I see fields awash in white and shadow, and crimson poppies or fields like fallow, and something shining under olive tree, a memory